booktube! My name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today I am coming to you with my September 2023 TBR. Say it with me everybody, it's TBR time! Yay! As you guys probably well know if you've been watching me for a while, I do not do anything halfway. And this TBR has 32 books on it. 32. Again, it's more of a pile of possibilities than a TBR. I know for a fact I'm not going to get through all of these books. If I get through half of these books, I'm going to call it a win. So essentially what I did was, how I was doing it before was these weekly TBRs where I would pick books based on categories to read each week. And I actually got to the point where I was finding that to be even though I said to myself, oh, if you don't get to the book, don't worry, just put it to the side and blah, blah, blah. But then I'd be like, but I still really want to read that book. And I kind of felt like, okay, it's the end of the week. I need to start next week's books. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I think by opening it up for the entire month, that's going to make a big difference. So I still picked, I have 8 categories here, my friends. I still picked 4 books per category. So 4 weeks in September, 4 books. So in a way, it's like a weekly, but it's not. It's a thing. Anyway, let's jump in and get started. I'm super excited, guys. I'm super excited to have like the monthly reading, the monthly TBRs back because I kind of really love these. Again, pile of possibilities. Let's see, but I have a lot of good books here, you guys, and I am so excited. I'm going to say it throughout the entire thing, but I'm so excited about all of them. So the first 2 groups of books, so the first, let's start at the beginning. The first group of 4 books is for a reading event that is happening in September that is being hosted by PK. Her channel is Bookie Monster, and I will leave a link to her below. Every single day she does live video, like a live 25-minute morning coffee, I think she calls it, where she goes through some newer releases, talks about what she's reading. It's absolutely delightful. So she is hosting this event called Spy vs. Spy, and it's essentially to read books that are espionage, spy, treason, Secret Service, like these kind of like espionage-y type books. So there are a number of romantic suspense books that would probably fall underneath this category, but I decided to step outside of my comfort zone, especially for one of them. The rest of them, yeah, are books I absolutely would read, but one of them is outside my comfort zone, but I am so excited about it. So the 4 books that I picked for this, the first one is Black Ice by Anne Stewart. So this is, I think, the first book in the Ice series. I read another book in the series called Ice Blue many, many, many years ago, like before I met my husband. So we're probably going back at least 15 years ago. This is not a newer book. This is an older book by her. Anne Stewart also writes she also writes historical romances, but these are definitely more romantic suspense. And basically I did a Google search on spy romance novels and saw what came up, and this is one of the ones that was listed. So I'm like, hey, I remember reading a later book in this series and I really enjoyed it, so let's go ahead and pick up the first one. So that's my first pick. The second one is the one that is really outside of my comfort zone, but I saw this and I thought it looked gorgeous, and I'm like, I kind of want to give it a try. And this is Stars and Smoke by Marie Lu. So I did get a hardcover copy of this. I was at Chapters Indigo and they had it there, and I'm like, okay, so this is a YA fantasy, I think it's a YA fantasy. Let me just read a little bit of the beginning here. A superstar, a secret agent, a once-in-a-lifetime mission. Meet Winter Young, rookie backup dancer turned global pop phenomenon. His star power has smashed records, selling out stadiums from LA to London. Now he's bringing his swoon-worthy assets to a whole new arena. Infamous criminal tycoon Eli Morrison has just one weakness, his daughter Penelope. And Penelope has just one wish for her 19th birthday, a private concert with Winter Young. When the covert ops organization approaches Winter with this once-in-a-lifetime chance to infiltrate Morrison's inner circle, Winter must use his fame, cunning, and charisma to pull it off. Only he won't be on his own. So I don't know. It's not fantasy then. It would be like, it's not contemporary. Would it be contemporary? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, guys, I am just so, like, I read this and I'm just like, this looks so good. And it sounds really good. Like, it's gorgeous. I'm really glad I picked this up as a sexy, funny, action-packed, full of killer characters ready to Break your heart and look good doing it. Marie Lou always delivers. That's from Lee Bardugo. So I have never ever read this author before. I'm kind of excited to dip my toes into the YA. Would it be YA? Well, I bought it in the YA section, so my assumption is it would be young adult. So yeah. Anyway, excited about this one. Next up, we have much more of an adult romance novel. I adore this author. I have read her before. We have Partners in Crime by Alisha Rai. This is about two people. I think they're set up on a date together, and then they end up getting chased by these, like, thieves or something. Like, they're unintentional spies in a way or something like that. I love the cover of this book. It looks so spectacular. So, yeah, do not know much about what this is actually about, but I know Alisha Rai. Like I said, I've read her before. She did not disappoint any other time I've read her, so I am really looking forward to this one. And the last one is actually the third book in the League of Gentlemen Witches series, I think. Now, I read that book last year, and I didn't love it. I liked it, but I didn't love it. And when I was looking on that list, this book came up, and I'm like, ooh, and I love the title, and I love the cover, which is why I went out and bought a copy of it. But I think I have to go buy the other two books in this series, because I need all three of them on my shelf. They're just so pretty. So we have The Secret Service of Tea and Treason by India Holton. Look at how cute that is. Oh my gosh. Two rival spies must brave pirates, witches, and fake matrimony to save the queen. That's all I'm going to read. That just sounds, oh my gosh. I love the back here. Brilliantly bonkers, romping fun. That's from Chloe Leslie, author of Two Wrongs Make a Right. Oh, this one I cannot wait. Like I said, the first book I was meh about, but it could have been when I read it. Like, I didn't dislike it, but I just wasn't, over the moon about it. But I'm wondering now if it was like more of it wasn't the book, it was me. Like, when I read it, maybe? I don't know. So I am looking forward to this one very, very much. So yeah. So that is the first group of books. The next event for the month of September is Series September. This is not the first year. This has been going on for a few years. It's hosted by Krista over at Books and Jams and Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand. And there are prompts. There's a little bingo board. I'm not trying to fulfill prompts necessarily. I'm going to see if I can get a bingo just with the books I'm going to be reading. Like, this is another book in series. Like, I could count this. A lot of these other books here are part of a series that I have. Just so happens that these were the 4 books that I ended up picking for this challenge. And the first one is Deserts, Driving, and Derelicts by Tonya Kappes, which is the second book in the Campers and Criminals Cozy Mystery series. My goal is to read one of these every month. They are relatively short. They come in at under 200 pages. On audio, they're 4 or 5 hours long. They are delightful. About our main character, Mae West, who, you find out a lot in the first book. Her husband was running a Ponzi scheme. All she had left was this camping, campground. And she ends up, revitalizing it. And then in every single mystery, of course, she stumbles over a dead body. So yeah, it's a delightful series. I absolutely love it, and you need to check it out. The next book is On Spine of Death by Tamara Berry. I read the first book in July, I think, and I gave it 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. So I am really, really looking forward to getting to book number 2. This is from the By the Book mystery series, and our main character is a mystery author. So yeah, these are a lot of fun. I really like the first one. Obviously, I gave it 5 stars. I am looking forward to book number 2. Next up is Plain Refuge by Janice K. Johnson. This is actually the first book in the series. I have read the second book, which was called Her Amish Protectors. Now, this is a very loosely connected series, and there's only the 2 books. So if I can get this one read in September, I have finished a series, which is a big bonus. So I'm excited about this one. I love Janice K. Johnson. She does some phenomenal writing. And the last book for this grouping is Heart of Evil by Heather Graham, which is the second book in the Crew of Hunters series. I have read through the first 20-ish of these books, and I am doing a reread of all of them because my friend Storm and her friend are doing a reread of them. And I think they're on book 4 or 5 now, and I need to catch up. So this is the one I have picked for now. And yeah, I am excited about this one. So there are my other group of books. Next up, we have some mood reads. So all of these in a way are mood reads. They're like well, yes, these fit the prompts, but I also would like to read them. But these are like true, I was literally standing in front of my shelf and went, yes, 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 yes. And I just pulled these off of the shelf to read. So I am very excited. Yeah, I am looking forward to these so much. So the first one is a very new one that just came into my possession. Sorry for shaking the camera. I've got everything piled on the table here in front of me. And that is None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. So the very new Lisa Jewell book, I did pre-order this one. It just came in the mail a couple weeks ago, and I'm super stoked to have it. It's a thriller. I know nothing about it. I don't want to know anything about it, but I'm really excited. Why do I always do this to myself? Why do I do this to myself? I glanced at the back here and I saw the Verity. If you liked Verity by Colleen Hoover, I think you'll love this one. Twisty, Twisty, Twisty. And that is from Emily Henry, the author of Happy Place. Thanks, Emily Henry. But to be fair, that other book that I read in August, 20 years later, also said if you liked Verity, you would like that one. And I love that book and I hated Verity. So let's hope that this is along the same lines. So yeah, I am very, very much excited about this one. I really do like Lisa Jewell's writing. So yay, I'm happy to get to that one. The next one is something a little bit different. We have A Love Catastrophe, and this is by Helena Hunting. Oh, this looks so adorable. So I bought this one at Walmart a month or two ago. It was like 20 or 30% off. And it says on the back, the fur is about to fly between a cheerful cat sitter and a grumpy hockey nerd. It's me and my husband if I was a cat sitter. So yeah, I am, a cat wrangler. I guess we both are, but my husband is definitely a hockey nerd. He doesn't play it, but he loves watching it. So yeah, this one looks really good. And, I can't wait to get to it. I think it's going to be great. Next up, one that I also bought fairly recently from a local-ish to me bookshop. So this is Happily Ever After Books. Now, the reason I'm showing you guys this is because if you are in Ontario especially, and you are a romance reader, now I suggest that you support small business, right? So yes, I do buy a lot from Chapters Indigo. I buy a lot from Amazon, but I went to one of her pop-up shops and she is just absolutely delightful, the owner of this, happilyeverafterbooks.ca. And I'll leave link to this to her store in the description box below. But like, she doesn't just have books. Like I wanted a tote bag, but she had these awesome so anyway, she had this pop-up market about a month or two ago that Garrett and I actually went to. And I bought a couple of books, and one of them was this one. It's been sitting behind me on my shelf forever, and I'm like, I need to get that read. So this is The Accidental Pinup by Danielle Jackson. So it says, rival photographers are forced to collaborate on a body-positive lingerie campaign, but they might have to readjust their focus when sparks fly. So yes, this sounds so good. Things are heating up behind the camera. Cannot wait to read this one. I'm sure it's going to be great. Yay. And the last one for the mood reading books. This has been on my shelf for like too long. I can't believe I haven't gotten to it yet. And that is Out of the Clear Blue Sky by Kristan Higgins. Kristan Higgins is one of my favorite authors ever. And she's an auto-buy author for me. But the problem is I've been buying them and putting them on my shelf and not reading them. So that needs to change. This is her book that came out last year, I think, or was it the year before? What year is this one? She used to write exclusively like contemporary romance. Now she's delving much more into the women's fiction side, which is just as good. And this came out in 2022, so this is last year's book. So Lily Sylvan, knew life as an empty nester would be hard after her only child left for college. But when her husband abruptly dumps her for another woman just as her son leaves, her world comes crashing down. Besides the fact that this announcement is a complete surprise, to say the least, what shocks Lily most is that she isn't heartbroken. She's furious. I love the dog on the cover. So yeah, this is these books tend to be a little bit chunkier, but I really, really need to get to this one. Like, yeah, I really need to get to this one. Again, I'm going to be saying this about all of them. So the next group of books here we have are Kindle Unlimited. So I pay for Kindle Unlimited every month. Don't use it as much as I should. But I follow a couple of authors on Instagram. Some of these sweet romance authors who do publish like these Kindle Unlimited sweet romance type books that I really do enjoy. Much like the one I'm reading right now called Falling in Love by Erin Bernstein, I think is the author. Anyway, I follow these authors, and I think it was Julie Christianson posted that her and 6 other authors have written and created this like small town. So essentially what they're doing is they've written a series together. So each author has written her own book, but they all take place in the same small town, and it's called the Sweater Weather series. Just give me all the fall vibes. All the fall vibes. I am so excited. So there's a book in this series coming out every week starting on August 31st. They're all going to be available on Kindle Unlimited. So in the month of September, I want to get through the first 4. I'd like to read at least 1 a week. And then in October, I'll read the other 3. So I am super, super stoked. Cannot wait. So I'm going to get through these relatively, I'm going to share these relatively quickly. I'll flash all the covers up here for you guys. There will be a list below of every single book I've talked about. So please do go ahead and check out that list if you want titles. So we have Just Don't Fall by Emma St. Clair. And these are in order. So this is book 1. But I don't think you need to read them in order. You can probably jump around if something interests you and something else doesn't. Like this one's a hockey romance, it looks like. So Tiffany, if you're watching this from the Beach Bum Bookworm, she loves herself a hockey romance. Then we have The Fallback Plan by Melanie Jacobson. We have Can't Help Falling by Courtney Walsh, and Faking the Fall by Julie Christianson. So yay, I am so excited about all of these books. I think they're going to be fantastic. I am really, really looking forward to them. I have read some of these authors before. I really like their work. Some of them are new to me, which is exciting as well. So yeah, I encourage you guys to check them out. Next up, I have 4 books from my Harlequin shelf. So essentially, usually what I would do in this case is I would like go on Goodreads and I have a shelf labeled category unread, and I would like just randomly pick 4 books, and I did not do that this time. I literally, again, just like I did for my mood reads, stood in front of the shelf and went that one, that one, that one, and that one. And that's how we ended up with these ones. So the first one that I have here is Cold Case Cowboy by Jennifer Morey. So this is a Harlequin romantic suspense novel. It is from June of 2022. Most of these are more recent, to be honest. There's one from 2017, but that's the oldest one. It just so happens these were the ones that caught my eye, so it is what it is. A killer wants her dead. Can one cowboy keep her alive? So yeah, looking forward to this one. It's part of the Cold Case Detectives novel series. And then we have one by Makenna Lee, who is like one of my favorite authors. She is just absolutely delightful. I have not read a bad book by her. This is The Bookstore Secret by Makenna Lee. It is a special edition novel. This came out in January of this year, January of 2023. So yeah, looking very much forward to getting to this one. A temporary pit stop or a forever homecoming, it says. So yay on that one. This one I just bought like a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago. And when I buy these, I don't necessarily read what they're all about because I'm also collecting them as well as like wanting to read them. And I read this one for you guys in the video and I went, oh my God, that sounds so good. And then when I spied it on the shelf, I'm like, yoink. So we have Shrouded in the Smokies by Lena Diaz. This is a Harlequin intrigue novel. It is from August of 2023, so it just came out this month, essentially. 5 years ago, she went missing, presumed dead. But she's alive and in a killer's sights. So that sounds so good. A Tennessee cold case story is the series. So yeah. That one sounds really good. And then this is the slightly older one. It's an old Harlequin Western romance, which before that was an American romance novel, a Harlequin American romance novel. So if you have Harlequin American romances and these ones that are Western romances, they are from the same line, just so you're aware. So this is Her Texas Rodeo Cowboy by Trish Milburn. And this is from September of 2017. So yeah, Risking Her Heart. I love these books so much. I miss them. That was a great, great imprint for Harlequin, and I'm sad that it went. But I am glad that we do have the heartwarming line, which gives us a lot of cowboy romances. Next up, we have some NetGalley books, guys, because yes, I am requesting a few books from NetGalley. So I have 4 of them here. Now, these 4 books all came out in August. So it is what it is. I figure if I get them read the month after, that's cool. So the 4 books that I have here are My Book Boyfriend by Kathy Strobos. This might be YA or new adult. I'm not absolutely certain, but I think it's about these two people who work at a bookstore. When I requested the book, I read the back and I went, oh, that sounds really cute. I like it. But now I can't remember. My mind is just, I cannot remember all the things. But it does look really, really cute. The next one I have is Through the Snow Globe by Annie Raines. I love Annie Raines' writing. And when I saw this one purely was a request based on the author. And it is a Christmas book, so I'm excited about getting into a Christmas book, sharing some Christmas books with you guys ahead of the season, so you can make decisions on, what you want to read this holiday season. Next up, we have a thriller, and that is The Boathouse by Carrie Bevis. This one, like I said, these all came out in August, so I kind of look to see if there's anywhere that I can borrow them or read them, so I don't have to necessarily read the e-ARC copy, because sometimes the e-ARC copies are not the greatest. And this one is actually available from Kindle Unlimited. I have no idea what it's about. It's a thriller. I don't want to know what it's about, much like the Lisa Jewell book. So I'm going to go into this one blind. I am looking forward to it. And last but not least is the new novel by Lindsay Kelk. All I really remember about this one, again, the cover drew me in, read the back, and read what it was about, and I was like, yes, and I requested it. But what I remember about this one is that our female lead writes greeting cards. So I'm super, super stoked about this one. It's called Love Me Do by Lindsay Kelk. So yay, I am very much looking forward to that one. Second last grouping of books here, my friends, the Harlequin new releases. So my original plan was to see if I could read through all of the new releases that I mentioned. The not every Harlequin new release that comes out every month. That's literally, I would quit my day job and just do that. And I still probably wouldn't even get through all of them. But more like I wanted to read through the 11 that I had, the one from each line that was my favorite. And I'm like, you're going to stress yourself out. This is neither the time nor the place to stress yourself out. So just pick, just randomly pick 4. And I did. I literally randomly just randomized my list and picked the top 4 books that came up. So those are the ones that I'm going to try and get to this month. So I would love to have reviewed all of them for you guys, but there's just not enough hours in the day, to be completely honest. So the books that I have here are The Trouble with Little Secrets by Josh Woods, which is the Desire novel. I am very much looking forward to this one. I think it's a Secret Baby. If it's Desire, it's probably Secret Baby. Then we have a historical, Miss Fairfax's Notorious Duke by Eva Shepherd. This is a Victorian era historical romance, and it looks really good. And then we have, I'm so excited about this one, you guys. Terry Wilson is a very favorite author of mine. I read the first book in this series, looking forward to getting to book 2, and then book 3 comes out in December. And we have Faking a Fairy Tale by Terry Wilson, second in the Love Unveiled series about 3 friends who work at a bridal magazine publisher and find love. It's delightful. It's wonderful. I can't wait to get to it. And last but not least, the one with the cover that probably, this one was purely a, oh my God, look at that cover. I need to know what this book is about. And it sounds really, really good, but this cover has to be my favorite one of the month for the Harlequin new releases. And that is Amish Country Ransom by Mary Alford. This is just so atmospheric looking. So this is about 2 people who are hiding in Amish country. They themselves are not Amish, but so this would be, as I like to call, an Amish adjacent book. So yeah, I am very much looking forward to that one. And last, but certainly not least, my throwback book. So the 4 books that I picked, one from each of the series that I'm reading back through that I read in my childhood. I do have physical copies of all 4 of them, which is very exciting. So the first one is The Truth About Stacy by Ann M. Martin, book 3 in the Babysitters Club series. This is the original cover, and I love it. It is so iconic to me. I know they redid the cover. They redid the covers for the Kindle editions that came out years ago. Not necessarily for every book. Some of them I like what they've done with them. Some of them I like the change. Other ones I don't. I have to say for the original 4, I much prefer the original 4 covers. Just because, again, these are iconic. So, yeah, Stacy has diabetes, and, this is the book where she kind of learns to kind of stand up for herself and her condition and to take care of herself and not necessarily be dictated by other people, which is, as someone who also dealt with chronic, with health issues growing up, I understand you kind of want to take back your own life in a way. Not that I had parents like Stacy's, not at all. My parents encouraged me to do all the things. And, you know, that's probably why I'm as healthy as I am now, because they were like, you're not sick, just go and do it. And they didn't let me use it as an excuse. But, you know, there is still, you know, especially as you get older, on wanting to take control and doing what you need to do for your health. So that's why I really like this one. The next one is the Nancy Drew Files. This is case number 3, Murder on Ice. A romantic ski weekend ends with a big chill. Murder. So yeah, Nancy and her friends go on a ski vacation and someone ends up dead. So yeah, looking forward to this one. Then we have Sweet Valley High, speaking about the original covers. Playing with Fire, book number 3. Can we talk about Bruce's sweater over his shirt that casually draped? Tell me this book is from the 1980s without telling me this book is from the 1980s. Can Jessica play Bruce Patman's game and win? Chances are probably no. But yeah, so looking forward to this one. And last but not least, the next in the Nancy Drew Mystery Series. I bought these first 5 books in these brand new editions, which I think are absolutely stunning. And I think somebody said there was only the 5, but I found 2 more online. So maybe it's up to 7? I don't know. Or maybe they're just kind of slowly putting them out. That would be very cool, because if they would do the original 56, that would be very cool, you know, and then the rest of them, it is what it is. But yeah, so The Bungalow Mystery by Carolyn Keene, Nancy Drew Mystery Stories number 3. So even though they've got these new covers, they still stay true in a way to the original books. These books have been rewritten, let's not kid ourselves. I know that a lot of people talk about that. These wouldn't necessarily have passed muster, you know, like even being rewritten. But some of the other ones, from my understanding, were really not great for this day and age. The original text and stuff like that. So, but they do still have, let me find it here. They do still have the artwork, which is fantastic. So, yeah, do love these. Do. I do love those. So anyway, guys, that is all that I have for today's video with my insane TBR. Do let me know in the comments section below, have any of you read any of these books? And what did you think about them? No spoilers, please, especially for the thrillers. And yeah, let me know what you're reading in September. Are you going to take part in Spy vs. Spy or in the series September? Let me know. Probably amalgamate them both very, very easily. And until my next video, everybody, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.